like to believe that we judge people by their ideas, not by how they pronounce vowels, but cognitively that's not true. The human brain makes social evaluations extremely fast, often before we're even aware of them. An accent is one of the strongest signals it uses. Within milliseconds, we start assigning traits: intelligence, trustworthiness, competence, attractiveness, social status. This is where concept of accent prestige comes in. Accent prestige explains why some ways of speaking are perceived as educated, elegant, sexy, or authoritative, while others are framed as rural, working class, foreign, or less competent. And the crucial point is this: these judgments are not linguistic facts, they are cultural decisions. Let's start with basic clarification. From a linguistic perspective, there is no such thing as a bad accent. Every accent is systematic. Every accent follows rules. Every accent is a fully functioning version of a language. There is no correct human accent, only socially privileged ones. So when someone says this accent sounds uneducated or that accent sounds sophisticated, they are not describing the accent itself. They are describing their society's hierarchy. Accent is not a linguistic problem. It's a social label. How does accent prestige get built? First, through media and the idea of a default voice. News anchors, narrators, politicians, voiceovers, they tend to speak with a standardized accent. Over time, people internalize the sound as the voice of authority, credibility, and intelligence. If an accent dominates national television, public education, and government communication, it slowly becomes the neutral accent, even though it's not neutral at all. It's simply the accent of those in power. Second, through economic power. Historically wealthy or politically dominant regions impose their accent norms on others. Language becomes tied to money, and money becomes tied to correctness. This is why people associate prestige with accents like Parisian French, received pronunciation in English, General American English, Sao Paulo Portuguese, or Moscow Russian. This has nothing to do with phonetics, it has everything to do with economics. Third, through colonial history. Languages and accents carried by colonial powers gain global prestige. Local accent or second language accent are framed as broken, incorrect, or inferior. Accent shame is very often a direct legacy of colonialism. People are taught not just to learn a language, but to erase the sound of where they come from. And finally, through class mobility. Accents become markers of social class. People from lower socioeconomic backgrounds are judged as less competent, less intelligent, or less professional purely based on how they sound. Accent prejudice is one of the last socially acceptable forms of discrimination. It often goes unnoticed because it's framed as common